Okay. So hi everyone. Sorry, the light is really weird. It's doing weird things to my face. Okay. So just to start out, because I know some of you didn't get this before. So I've got the YouTube playlist of the replays of these sessions. So for anyone that wants to go back and use any of the replays, the YouTube playlist link is here. Okay, so maybe take note of that now, because I think when I end the meeting, it all just disappears. So if you want that YouTube playlist link, maybe cut and paste that to a note on your phone or on your computer, whatever you're using right now for that. Okay. So cool. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. So my name is Julie. And for these sessions, they are completely safe as you are going through, if you are going through any IVF treatments right now. Everyone tends to stay on mute, and also with the video off. You can turn the video on if you feel so inclined. However, the mute, please only unmute yourself if you have a question, because Zoom does this thing where it will play obviously for everyone. So if something disrupts your background, the doorbell rings, whatever, we'll all hear it. So my dogs and cats do enough of of that kind of damage through our sessions. So yeah, okay. We are going to start with a centering and breathing, and then move into some warm-up movements, and then from there flow through some postures and relax at the end. Always my invitation to you is to practice kindness to yourself, compassion with both your body and your mind. It's very easy to judge ourselves, but maybe for a moment or for the next hour, pretend that your body and your mind are those of someone that you love dearly. So often, we wouldn't speak to our best friends the way that we would speak to ourselves. We probably wouldn't have many friends a lot of the time if we spoke to them the way that we speak to ourselves. And we probably wouldn't like other people if they talk to us the way we talk to ourselves sometimes too. So my invitation to you is to practice this evening like your mind and your body are your best friends. Okay. So to begin, we are going to begin with that centering and breathing. I'm just going to move the microphone. Okay. Okay. So for that centering and breathing, you've got a few options. You can either sit up nice and tall, grounding through the sits bones, lifting through the spine and through the crown, or if you feel uncomfortable sitting, of course you can use a prop, you can use a cushion or a bolster or a block or something like that. But if you feel uncomfortable sitting, or if you've spent the whole day sitting, typing, whatever it might be, please feel free to come down onto your back and either lie down, so you can bend your knees, feet on the floor, or extend the legs all the way out, just letting them flop and splay. And knees bent is better if you have any lower back sensitivities. So just find what feels most comfortable to you. And also, just to say, I'm sorry, I know I'm saying this after I've gotten you comfortable, but you are always welcome to play music on your end. I don't play music through the Zoom because the quality is not too good. But you're always welcome to play some kind of relaxing music on your end if that's something that you would prefer. Okay. So once you've got yourself situated, whether you're lying down or sitting up, take a few rolls of the shoulders. So you're going to inhale and roll the shoulders up. And exhale them down and back. And again. And one more. And just relax the shoulders, relax the hands, either facing up or down. Close your eyes. Take a few deep inhales through the nose, and then exhale, sigh or blow the air out of the mouth. Do that as many times as you need. And if at any point you are distracted by external sounds, so sorry, unfortunately one of my dogs is making a little bit of noise right now. So if at any point you are distracted by external sounds, whether that is something from my end or something from yours, try to just let it all be vibration. So nothing good or bad, but just the present moment, other people, other beings living their lives. Okay. Close your eyes if they're not yet closed. And take a few deep inhales through the nose. And then exhale, sigh or blow the air out of the mouth. Just do this a few times. Inhaling calm. Exhaling, sighing out, letting go of any stress or any tension. Once you've sighed out a few times, just come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. And start to notice your breath. And notice where it lands in your body. And throughout the practice, whatever you notice, see if you can notice without judgment. So there's no need to label anything as good or bad. Just allow it to be whatever it is, whatever your present experience is. And take the awareness, bring it to your mind. Notice the quality of the mind this evening. how open or closed it is, how busy or quiet. And check in with your feelings, your heart, however you perceive your emotional center. And just notice how you're feeling. If you're having perceived negative emotions, try to avoid pushing them away. Just notice them, allow them. Usually, when we push the things away, it just makes them come back a bit stronger. And take the awareness and check in with your body, your physical body, and just notice where you're feeling what. Where is the body open and relaxed? Where is the body storing tension or strain? And from here, take the awareness back to the breath and start to deepen the breath through the nose. Inhale through the nose, take the breath down into the belly so that the belly rises with the inhale. Exhale back out the nose and feel the belly roll back toward the spine. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And then deepen the breath further. Inhale through the nose, fill up, belly, ribs, chest. Expanding all the way up through the inhale. Exhale out the nose, chest, ribs, and belly contract. So those of you who have done this before, you'll probably remember that this three-part breath is known as a dirgha breath. So if you're newer to yogic breathing, if you're newer to pranayama, stay with this dirgha breath. Otherwise, come into your ujjayi or your ocean wave sounding breath, constricting in the back of your throat in the epiglottis. So it's as if you're inhaling and exhaling the word home through the nose to create that audible wave sound. Either way, just breathing deeply, filling up, slowly expanding, belly, ribs, chest, gently contracting, chest, ribs, and belly. And let's take between 5 and 10 rounds of slow, deep breath here. Take a few more deep breaths here. And then start to mentally ready yourself for movement. And in your own time and in your own way, draw some movement back into your body. So just let yourself stretch, roll around, yawn, sigh. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. Just whatever would feel good to you right now. Okay. And then from here, I actually want us to start in a tabletop position today. So last week we did quite a bit for the hips. We tend to. Hips are particularly important when we're looking at fertility yoga. But we did a bit for the shoulders. And this week I want to do a bit more for the back. I think sometimes it gets left out of these classes. So what I would like you to do is start to make your way onto hands and knees. So you are bringing your wrists in line with your shoulders and your knees in line with your hips. Now, if you are like me and you have a hardwood floor that you're on, you might want to put a little fold in your mat, and you can just fold it up like so. Just put that fold in and bring your knees onto it. You can also use a blanket or a towel and fold that up under your knees. So just something that's going to protect the bone of the knee against the hard floor. It's not about being stronger or fitter. It's just about bone and hard floor. Okay, so now bring your knees so that they are coming in line with your hips, and bring your wrists so that they're coming in line with your shoulders. And start by spreading the fingers out wide. Anytime that we are doing any kind of weight bearing on the hands, we just want to keep the fingers spread out to help protect the wrists. Okay. From here, I want you to inhale, roll your shoulders back, open up through your chest, lift up through your sits bones. And then exhale, tuck the chin in toward your chest and round up. And again, inhale, arch, roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest. And exhale, round. One more. And then inhale, come back through center. And now we are going to take the most gentle form of a twist that we can. And typically we don't do twists when it comes to fertility yoga because it squeezes too much on the inner organs, some of the vital ones with regards to women's fertility. But we have one twist that we can do very gently and safely. So what I would like you to do is come down onto your right forearm and just let your right hand rest behind your left wrist. And then you're just going to turn and look up past that left shoulder. And you should hopefully feel a bit of a twist in your spine, maybe even a stretch in the shoulder. And this is all we're going to do. If you were in a more regular class, they would thread the arm through here, but we're just taking it gentle, okay? And then walk yourself back up. And then exactly the same to the other side. We're taking the left forearm down, and then we turn to look past that right shoulder. So just giving that little twist and little shoulder stretch. And maybe it's not so little. I'm feeling this tonight. So just notice how it feels. and then walk yourself back up to center. Now, from here, come down onto your forearms with the fingers pointing out in front of you. So the elbows are coming in line with the shoulders. We're going to take a puppy pose. So we've done this a bit lately. So this is lovely for the shoulders and for the upper back. So we're just going to walk the arms forward, take the forehead down, relax the shoulders. And just breathe into that. So it's like a puppy or a dog in a play bout getting ready to pounce on something. Okay. And start to walk yourself all the way back up into your tabletop position. Okay, and then from here, what I'd like you to do is draw your right knee in towards your chest. And then exhale very gently, send that right leg back behind you, and just make sure that you are not going to run into anything behind you. And if you are, either adjust your position or adjust whatever it is you could potentially run into. I've learned this health and safety lesson the hard way. So just, again, make sure that you can kick that right leg back safely. And we're actually going to do something known as a hara kick. And it's an inhale through the nose and an exhale ha out the mouth. And the idea is we're bringing all this good oxygen into the body as we're getting ourselves a little bit warmer. So might not be typical gentle yoga, but it's also not overly vigorous, okay? So the idea is just getting that beautiful oxygen flow in. So we draw the right knee into the chest, curl up, take an inhale, and then exhale, ha, kick that leg back, open the shoulders, open the chest, and then we do this a bit more quickly. We inhale, ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. And take one more. Ha, kick it out. Okay, now something a bit crazy. Now this is for your, I'm turning myself around just so I can show you better. So this is for your hips and for your glutes, for your bum, okay? So we want to take that right knee and we bring it out to this side, high up, like a dog having a wee, okay? So it's a dog who's found a really good tree and you're going to, or telephone pole or whatever. Okay, and you're gonna draw that knee up to the shoulder, around to the elbow, and then send it back. And we're going to just take a few of those. So super good for the hips, for the glutes. You're like, what have I gotten into tonight? Take one more. Okay, and then I want you to take that leg up and back behind you, roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest. So we're bending that knee, and it's like we're wanting to lick the toes, okay? Super attractive, I know. Okay, licking the toes. So if this is enough, stay here. If you want to take a slightly deeper back bend, you're going to push through that right hand, and you're pushing under the armpits, okay? So it's not collapsing down, but shoulders are back. And then you're going to pull up through the core and take your right hand back to catch, or sorry, left hand back to catch that right foot. And then you're going to lift up and back. So you're just opening the chest, opening the back, opening the quad. And I know that this isn't super gentle. You're going to feel this, but it is good to open up the body, to breathe, to oxygenate the cells. Oh, it's so good for the body. So just take a couple more breaths. Okay, gently release. Roll your bottom back to your heels. Take a child's pose, Dharabhasana, taking the forehead down, sighing out. I want you to lift the head, lift the heart, roll yourself back up into a tabletop. But before we, so sorry guys, not sure how loud that is when she does that. Hopefully Zoom does some audio background editing out. Okay, so from here, we've got the fingers pointing forward, okay? What I'd like you to do is very gently turn your right wrist forward with your fingers pointing back, but gentle being the key word there, okay? And then you're going to very, very gently and ever so slightly lean back. It's not a deep lean. You can see from mine, it's hardly any lean at all. So we're just stretching that wrist back out. Okay. And then you're going to turn your fingers forward and then take that right hand back. And then we're going to do the same to the left side. So we turn that left wrist forward, left fingers pointing back, and very, very gently lean. Okay. And you're going to softly pick up that left hand. And one more thing before we come to the other side, the left side with those moves. So imagine that your rib cage is this barrel that is pegged between your hips and your shoulders. And you're just going to swing that barrel out to one side, roll it up through a cat, swing it over to the other side and down. And we're just going to keep creating, these circles. And go the other way. Okay, and then take it all the way back through center. And now from here, shoulders in line with the wrists, knees in line with the hips. Draw the left knee in toward your chest. And again, just take the left leg back. Check that there's nothing on that left side. Again, maybe you have a super clear space behind you, but if you have a slightly cramped space, just double check it's fine on the left side too. Okay, and then you're going to draw that knee into the chest, take an inhale, and then exhale, kick that leg back. Ha. 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 Deep breaths. Ha. 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 And one more. Ha. Kick it back. Okay. Now that left leg is out behind you. And we're going to come back into our hydrated doggy. So we've got that left leg back. And then we're going to turn and open that hip. So the hip is turning up toward the sky, and then we bend that knee drop up to the shoulder, around to the elbow, and then back. And we just take a few like this. One more. Okay. And then when next that leg comes behind you, bend it. Roll the shoulders back, open up through the chest, lift that left leg like you want to lick your left toes. And then if that's enough, stay there. Otherwise, you're going to squeeze that inner right thigh, pull up through the core, take your right hand back, catch hold of the foot. Now it's really easy to catch hold of the foot and just drop down. Yeah, it's not going to do a lot, unfortunately. So we're going to lift up, roll the shoulders, or roll that shoulder back, open up through the chest, lift that left leg. exhale. Gently release. Take that leg and roll your bottom back towards your heels. Take the arms out in front of you, forehead down. And just side out. And let's take our lateral child's pose stretch that, that we did last week when my cat, my dear little girl cat, decided that it was time to crawl on my back. So same pose as then. Should be easier for me this week. So what I'd like you to do is take your arms, bring them wide so that your hands are coming either side of the mat, or if you're not using a mat, that's okay, just wider than shoulder distance. And then you're going to cross your right hand over your left like a cat stretching out its foreleg. Relax the head down between the arms and just shift the weight a little bit toward your right hip. And then we're going to swing that arm back. Right hand back, and then left swings over right. Let the head relax down between the upper arms. Couple more deep breaths. Take the hands back to neutral. Okay, now from here, for a moment, I'd like you to sit up, and then you may or may not want to adjust your position. It's with your screen and your mat. Some people are really fine to have their knees go onto the wood floors or onto whatever floor you have, and other people aren't, so they want to turn. Always your call, okay? Just keep yourself comfortable. So I'd like you to have I'm going to turn to face you for this. So I'd like you to have your big toes together behind you. So your big toes are in a kiss, okay? And then you can lean forward, and then you take your knees wide, and you're just going to take them out as wide as they can comfortably go, okay? So what we're going to do here is we are stretching out the iliopsoas muscle. And the iliopsoas muscle runs from the base of the spine, and it wraps in front of the hips and then connects to the femurs, to the leg bone, the top leg bone there. And this iliopsoas muscle is often responsible for lower back pain. So it's not responsible for all lower back pain, but it's definitely responsible for some. So if you're someone that suffers with lower back pain, this might be a good stretch for you. Also, if you are somebody who sleeps like this, right? You bring your knee up, and there's always some of you that are like, yeah, that's me. And some of you are like, who the hell sleeps like that? Me. If you're someone that sleeps like this is your body's natural way of stretching out the iliopsoas muscle, and it's actually a great way to sleep if you struggle with the lower back. Likewise, you can actually put a pillow under the leg here too when you sleep, just to elevate it a little bit, and that's also very effective. Okay, so coming into this stretch, because this actually isn't it, this is the start of it. We're aiming to get a stretch through the inner thigh. Some of you might feel it also around to the back. Some of you might only feel it here. So that's okay. That's still the muscle. That's what we're going for. So what I'd like you to do is walk your hands out in front of you. But what we are not doing is coming into a child's pose here, because if we do that, we end up sort of rounding, or sorry, arching in the spine, and we want to avoid arching in the spine in this. So we walk the hands forward, and then I just want you to push your bum back toward your heels. Now, some of you will already be feeling this stretch, just doing that, pushing the bum back toward the heels. You're going to feel that. Yeah. If your toes separate a little, it's okay. If they stop kissing, it's okay. If you want to go further, you can come down onto your forearms, or you can come down onto the head, but I want you to keep pushing back so that you feel that on the inside of the leg. Because if you let yourself come forward into that child's pose variation, again, it's going to put some pressure on your lower back. You will get the stretch around the inside of the leg, but we just want to avoid the pressure on the lower back here. We just want to keep that slight round, push it back, feel the stretch. And just take a few more breaths here. And then start to lift the head, lift the heart, walk yourself up, and then gently draw the knees in. Okay? And then once you've done that, curl your toes under behind you. Okay? And then very gently push yourself back into a frog squat. Okay? Now, I'm changing my mind about which squat I want to do with you today. No, let's just do the usual one, because the usual one is fantastic for the hips. The other one's good for the hips too, but the usual one's better. So what we're going to do is a couple options. One option is that you're up on the balls of your feet. If this feels like a struggle, you can always put a block or a cushion or a few books underneath your heels if they're lifted up and you're finding it quite unstable. You can use props, okay? And they don't have to be yoga props, just whatever you can use is fine. Okay, and then from here, we're then going to take, if it's available to you, if you're going to take the soles of the feet flat down. But again, that's if it's available to you. For some people, this would break the arch of the foot. So as always, don't break your foot. Just stay with the heels up. And then we're going to take the elbows to the insides of the knees. Bring the palms together. Roll the shoulders back and elongate the spine. And your shins are probably going to talk to you a little bit about this, but let them converse. Okay, and elbows and knees squeeze equally, because if you just squeeze your knees, you're going to drop down all low and get all sad turtle into the shoulders. And if you just do it this way, actually, you're still going to be sad turtle. So you want to keep the elbows and the knees together and lift up and breathe. And then let's exhale and see if you can very gently either fall or help yourself down onto your bottom. Ooh, and extend the legs out in front of you. That extension hurt my hamstrings way too much on one side. Okay, and then we're going to flex the feet out in front of us, taking in that lift through the arms. And then exhale, ooh, hinge forward from the hips, bowing down. Damn, what did I do? Okay, and do that a few times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow. Couple more. Mm. Okay. And then from here, I want you to inhale, lift the arms, flex your feet, grounding your heels. Roll your shoulders back, send your heart forward. So it's not call on me in class, super excited, know the answer, but just roll the shoulders back, receive this evening. I was that kid, by the way. I'm not judging you if you're that kid. I was that kid. Okay, take an inhale here. And then exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Roll the shoulders back. Send the arms out in front of you like you want to give a hug, but your legs are in the way. Then we're going to do that stretch that goes sort of in that, it feels like it almost goes under the shoulder blade. So it's sort of that good pain kind of stretch, right? I'm not selling it, am I? Okay, so we're going to take an inhale and reach the arms out. And then as you're reaching out, keep the chest open and then just lift up and go slightly wider with the arms. And you should feel that cinch in around the shoulder blade. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. We've done this a few times because this is a really good one for the shoulders. And then inhale, release and lift all the way back up. Elongate the spine, flex the feet, chest forward, inhale. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Reach the arms out, give the hug to start. And then we just do that once more. So we sort of lean back and then lean in and lift shoulders going down, arms going slightly wider. Ooh, breathe, breathe. Okay, inhale, lift up. And then exhale, keep the feet flexed, gently bow down. And then roll the hands back in toward the heart. Gently place your hands down. And then from here, slowly, and you can start to bend the knees, bring yourself all the way down onto your back so that your feet are coming on the ground. And just relax the shoulders. Close the eyes. Sigh out. And then from here, I actually want you to pop your knees in toward your chest and take your right hand to your right knee, left to your left. So last week we were talking about how there are certain poses that theoretically are good for embryo transfer. And of course, what we know about IVF and yoga is all theoretical for the most part, because you can't really do trials on this the way that we know science and medicine right now. So it's just based on anatomy, our understanding of it. So we're going to, so for embryo transfer, I know there's a few of you who've had that recently. Poses like this are supposed to be quite good theoretically, where you're on your back and you're drawing the knees into the chest and your hips are going slightly wide. So we're going to play off of that a little further this week. So whether or not you've had an embryo transfer, whether or not you're even going through IVF at this point, this is a great thing just to do for your hips anytime. So we're taking the right hand to the right knee, left to the left, and we draw the knees down toward the chest. And then we take the legs wide. So we open them out wide, and then we circle them around and back together, and then down, out, and back up again. We just do this a few times. So what this does is this increases the synovial fluid in the hip joint, which is the lubricant of the hip joint. So this is a move that I've been teaching in all of my classes for 10 years, whether it's not just fertility yoga, it's any class, because this is a fantastic thing to do if you ever struggle with the hips, even just a few minutes every day. And go the other way. So the leg that was going clockwise is now going counterclockwise, and the leg that was going counterclockwise is now going clockwise. And take a few deep breaths here. Okay. And then draw your legs back to center. Now, I would like you to see if you can just take your hands and bring them underneath your lower back and lift your legs straight up to 90 degrees. Now, we're not actually going to stay here for long. The idea is that I want this to be a relaxing pose for you, which is why we put the hands underneath the lower back. However, some of you might feel like this is super strong in your core. You might have your legs down here, in which case, if you are a woman and you are going through IVF and you are feeling this as a core strengthener, give it a miss. We don't do core work for IVF, okay? This is a fantastic pose to do, whether it's IVF or pregnancy. And one of the things that you can do is you can actually do this also on your own by putting your legs on the wall. And so it's always awkward to get into the position, but you'll find your way. I know you will. But you can use this as an option just to bring some extra blood flow into the internal organs. And we have the legs either up in the air with the hands underneath, or a pillow or a cushion underneath, something that supports so that this isn't an abdominal workout, or using the wall. Okay? So let's just take another breath here. And this is probably one more to file away for you. It's a fantastic relaxing pose when you use it against a wall. Find a private corner at work. Okay. And then exhale, bend your knees, unwind your arms, and take the soles of your feet down to the ground. And then take a moment to sigh out. And then from here, take your right foot, and I just want you to bring your right foot in front of your left knee so that that right knee is pointing out to the side, and you flex your right foot here, okay? So you make the sole of the foot flat rather than pointed. And then pop your left foot off the ground. Oops, someone's gotten kicked out. I'm gonna get them back in. Okay. And then I want you to take your right hand, thread it up through that triangle made by your right leg, and then either interlace your fingers around the back of the left thigh, or over the top of the left shin if you can reach. And you flex both feet and just push that right knee away. And you should feel a very deep stretch here around your IT band, around the hip, the glute region. And just take a few deep breaths there. And rock back to center. Unwind. Take the sole of that left foot back down. Lift your right leg straight up to the sky. Flex the foot. So you can just give a stretch there. Yep. Okay. And exhale, take that right foot back down. And we cross the left leg so that that left ankle is coming in front of the right knee. We flex it. Draw that knee into right knee, sorry. We pop the right foot off the floor. And then we thread the left arm through the triangle made by the left leg and either interlace the fingers over the shin or around the back of the thigh. Okay. And just take a moment to breathe here. And then rock back through center. Take that right foot down to the ground. Ooh, and then flex that left foot, taking the left leg straight up into the sky, stretching out through the back of that leg. And you're going to take the sole of that foot down. Take a moment just to sigh out here. And then from here, it actually, what I'd like you to do is just get yourself comfortable now. So if you use a bolster and you want to put a bolster under or a pillow under your legs and extend the legs out, feel free to do that. If you would like, grab a blanket, something that's going to help keep you warm. And bring yourself down just onto your back, either with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. Again, that's better if you have lower back sensitivities, or just extend the legs out, letting them flop and splay. And relax the shoulders and relax the hands. And close the eyes. And take a few deep inhales through the nose, with exhales sighing or blowing the air out of the mouth. And just do that as many times as you need. And close your eyes again if they're not yet closed. And let your natural breath take over when you're ready. And then as you relax here this evening, I'd like to offer you a few affirmations. So just allow the words to wash over and through you as they do. And if something resonates, maybe you file it away. And just remember that whatever you practice, you get better at. So how you speak to yourself, you get better at speaking to yourself that way. So if you practice affirming your worth, your strength, your value, you will get better at affirming that. But if you practice cutting yourself down, unfortunately, you'll get better at that too. So just as you relax here, just take these words, just trust that your subconscious mind is absorbing them. Relaxing here now. I am here now. I am safe. I am powerful, rooted, and strong. Whenever my strength has been tested, I have survived. I choose to keep growing. I choose to keep going. I celebrate my strength, and I am beautifully strong. Simply by being here now, I am a survivor. I have survived every injury and illness thus far, and this is why I am breathing here right now. So I breathe into this moment with gratitude. I am here now, and I choose to thrive. When I am afraid, I remember to breathe deeply, to connect to my inner strength and my inner source of power and light. I am powerful, and I use my power to bring love, peace, and joy into the world. I am here now, and I have a right to be here exactly as I am. I am more than enough. I am worthy of every breath that I take. I celebrate my life by embracing my worthiness. I nurture myself, and I gladly take care of my well being. I gladly take my place in this world as a powerful light. I belong here, and I belong here exactly as I am. Just take a moment to breathe here now. Notice if any of the words spoke to you in any particular way. And then start to deepen your breath. And draw some movement back into your fingers and into your toes. And then roll to one side. Gently bring yourself all the way back to seated. Take your hands into prayer in front of the heart. Gently bow, honoring your body, your light, your practice on this earth. And thank you all so much for coming this evening. Same time, same place next week. If you like affirmations, I teach meditation on a platform called Insight Timer. And actually, what I was reading you tonight is from one that's going to come out next week. So you can, and Insight Timer is completely free. So you can always go over to Insight Timer and check things out. And not just mine. There's like 60,000 meditations on there. So, okay, I hope you guys have a really good week, and I will hopefully see you next week. Thank you all so much.